Hey, if you're looking to buy a home in the Twin Cities market, you might be wondering, where's the market at right now? Well, today we're going to go over exactly where the Twin Cities market is as it holds June 3rd, 2023. Break it down for you, go over the stats as it affects the Twin Cities and only the Twin Cities market. So if you're reading news headlines, a lot of times that is a national headline with national stats. We're going to break it down for what we're seeing here in the Twin Cities so you have the best information for you and your family. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Steve. I'm a team lead for the Three Rivers Real Estate team based on the Twin Cities right here in Minnesota. I produce content for people just looking to learn more about the area. If you're looking to move here, it's good to have the most up-to-date information so you can make the best decision for you and your family. Like I said, today we're going to go over a market update for where things are at right now as of today in June 3rd, 2023. Hop into my computer, we're going to break down all the stats. We're going to get into that right now. All right, popping right into my computer here, we're going into InfoSparks, which if you're not familiar is kind of where we get a lot of our information here on the Twin Cities market tied right into the MLS. So looking at the Twin Cities region, looking at all price points, all property types, so single family, condos, townhomes, new construction, previously owned, all that good stuff on a month-to-month basis. We're looking at average sales price that we're going to start with here. We can see the average sales price in the Twin Cities is $431, and this is up month over month. We bottomed out here in February. We've slowly kind of been creeping up for the last couple of months. Now, this is down, this negative 0.9% is down year over year, almost a percent. So what that means is if I look at where we were last May 2022, we'll see we're down about a percent, about $4,000 an average sales price. We peaked out last year around June. That's right when the rates started kind of going up and the market started doing some different things here. So we'll see exactly where we're at this year, where we peak out here. I'm guessing we're going to keep seeing this going up for the next month or so. The average sales price, it's important to remember this is a laggard number. And what I mean by that is when we're seeing average sales prices for May, these are homes that actually got accepted offers back in April and March, and they're just closing in May. So we're getting the data from homes that sold, 30 to 45 days ago, and they're just getting recorded now in the month of May. So like I said, we're June 3rd here. So we're looking at what we got done in May, and this is pretty standard to see it tick up in the spring months here. One of the reasons why we're seeing the prices come up, even though we're seeing higher interest rates, is just the number of homes that are for sale in the Twin Cities. And if we kind of zoom in here, we can see that the homes for sale on a monthly basis it's not very high. We pretty low in February. March and April were pretty flat around 6,000, 6,500, and we actually, dipped down a little bit in May at 6,300. So if we look historically, what we see in the Twin Cities, we see this typically goes up all the way, through June or July. We typically see more homes hit the market, which gives more opportunity for buyers out there, which doesn't put as much pressure on pricing. But we're not seeing that this year. It's a very weird year. As we talked about with interest rates, a lot of people are hanging on to their low interest rates, choosing not to sell. So a lot of people that would be trading up, trading down, financially it might not make a whole lot of sense for them, so they're just kind of hanging out right now. And that's, again, historically, if we see what happens, the lowest month we typically see are in the winter months, December, January, February, and then it goes up and usually peaks in the middle to end of summer, July, August, June, July, August. So, but we're really struggling this year as far as that goes. Really just not seeing the inventory hit the market right now, which is leading to a pretty low month supply of inventory. If we kind of see where we're at here, we've been really hanging on to this what we call 1.6 months supply of inventory. So if you're not familiar with that term, really what it means is if we stop building homes and we stop putting homes on the market, given our current supply and our current demand, we would run out of homes to sell in 1.6 months, in 1.5 months. And we've been hanging around that number for quite a while right now. As you can see, the last couple months have been there. Now that's up 14.3% year over year, but because it's so low, any increase seems really high. We're at 1.6 in May, 1.4 last May, only up 0.2. So, up roughly a week and a half of supply, which really isn't anything. From a percentage standpoint, it seems very high though. And again, this all comes back to the number of homes that are hitting the market. It is very rare for us to have fewer homes hit in May than we did in April. That almost never happens. It's almost always more in May, as May is really one of the biggest, busiest months we have in the spring market. Now, this number might get adjusted. Sometimes we see this lags a little bit. It's June 3rd. Give it a couple more days. We might see a few more that are reported that tend to hit them up here. But either way, we tend to see a pretty big number in May. We look back in 2016, you have 14,000 homes that hit the market back in 2016 versus 6,000 that are hitting now. If we look pre-COVID, 2019, we're at 12,000. We're half of the number of new listings that we were pre-COVID to where we are now, which is very, very small, very minimal there. So that's going to keep putting a lot of pressure on prices, even as interest rates, if they do stay high. There's just not enough homes out there for the people that do want to buy one, and that's what's putting a lot of pressure on where we're at with things. Now, if you're looking to sell your home, average days on market right now, as we kind of go here, the median day was 12, which is up 71%. But again, it was so low before that any increase is going to see drastic, like a very big increase there over time. We'll see what we have for average days on market here, as my internet's lagging just a little bit. All right, and we're back with the internet working here. Average days on market at 37, median 18, adjust a little bit once it lagged there, but still, that's really not a lot. And if we get into previously owned homes versus new construction, you see new construction's at 75% or 75 days on average. Previously owned at 33, and you see the median for previously owned, again, about 16, pretty low. Newer construction at 483. One of the reasons is, newer construction is moving a little bit slower right now, but also that includes model homes. And a lot of times model homes, they're not for sale. They're listing them to show what they can do, but they don't actually sell. So they end up sitting on the market for sometimes hundreds of days. Can skew this a little bit from the new construction side of things, but either way, that's still moving real fast. And what we're really seeing kind of anecdotally is, hey, if you're priced right, all ready to go, you're usually moving pretty quickly within a week or so, if not quicker. If you're a little overpriced, a little quirky, got some things to work on, then yeah, you're probably maybe getting a little closer to that 33 days on market. But especially in this kind of first-time home buyer, if we're looking at some of the lower price points here, consider below average, still moving pretty quick. 32 days on market with a median day on market of 11 and 29. We look at the monthly. So again, moving really fast in the first-time home buyer market. So a lot of times what I'm recommending, if you're looking for your first-time home right now, knowing that it's very competitive, prices are high, interest rates are high, is really have a good game plan going into it. Know that your first home, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be it's going to be like your first car. It's going to get you from A to B. It's going to put a roof over your head, but really focus on trying to have kind of 3 non-negotiables is what I'm telling people right now. School district, maybe garage, number of bedrooms, number of baths, location, whatever it happens to be. Try not to get too crazy and look for too many things that you're looking for right now. And the fact is, I see this all the time, first-time home buyers. You buy your home, and guess what happens over the next 5 years? Your needs change anyway. What you thought you needed in your first home, maybe you don't need. Maybe you don't want a big yard and you want to be in a townhome. Maybe you ended up having twins and now things have changed. Maybe your job relocated and you have to move anyway. So that first-time home, like I said, it's going to be a lot like your first-time car, where you just want to get it going. You want to kind of get that snowball going, trying to figure out exactly what you want in your house, so that when you do buy your next house, now maybe you can look for 5 things that you really want, or 7 things, once you really know what you want in your first house. But try not to get too caught up in finding the perfect house, because it doesn't exist. I've bought 3 houses over 7 years, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want in my next house. My needs keep changing in life. So even as a realtor who does this every single day, it's really hard to know exactly what your needs are going to be in 5 or 7 years. So try not to be too crazy with it. I know it's a big purchase and it's a very exciting time, but again, your needs are going to change, so try not to stay too crazy with it here. So now if we kind of take a look at, hey, what's happening, just in the real estate world in general, like if you've ever done this before, like just popping into, hey, well, I don't know why Shepherd's Pie came up here, but what's happening in real estate? If we just kind of go into the news, let's see what's happening and what's making headlines in real estate right now. One of the biggest ones we have here is, Barbara Corcoran's stating, hey, it's a great time to buy. If you're not familiar with Barbara Corcoran, huge realtor broker out of New York. She's on Shark Tank right now. She was doing, I think she was on Good Morning America this week. And yeah, she says, great time to buy when prices come down, or prices are going to explode when rates drop. And this is exactly what I'm seeing too. If you hop on my Instagram, I talk about this a lot, where a lot of people I'm talking to right now are all saying a lot of the same things. And it's, hey, we're waiting for rates to come down. We're waiting for rates to come down. We're waiting for rates to come down. When rates do come down, there'll be a lot of people that want to buy homes. Demand is going to go up. We don't know what supply is going to do. If rates come down far enough, it might trigger some people who are sitting on homes to sell homes, but it depends how far they come down and what the timing is like when that does come down. If we're full-fledged recession or something going crazy, economy's doing bad, people might not want to sell. If it's a mild recession and rates come down, then we might see some things kind of shift there. So I think this is what this Realtor.com trend is talking about here, kind of what's going to happen first, the chicken or the egg. Housing market has a chicken or egg problem, right? We're going to get more buyers really coming into the market. We're going to see rates come down, or sellers going to do something different here. So yeah, prices continue upward. They say not for long. They talk about here prices tend to get higher until June. That's typically when they peak out, and they begin retreating in July, as we talked about here in InfoSparks. That's fairly similar to what we see here in Minnesota. Typically peaking out, June right there. That was August a couple years ago. 2020 was October. 2020 is a weird year. If we go back even further, I'm guessing we're going to see, things peak out October, July, June, July. So yeah, we're not too far off that historically in the state of Minnesota. Again, this might be a weird year depending on what rates do and what we are from an economy standpoint, but we'll see how all that kind of trickles out. But yeah, the slow pace they're talking about here, again, it's all due to homes not hitting the market. We're not any different here in Minnesota. We don't have a lot of people coming on, so see what we have here too. And there's not a lot of new homes being built right now, as buyers kind of dialed back when the recession, or as the interest rates started going, people started talking about recession more. We started seeing builders kind of pull back a little bit, put even more pressure on a low inventory market. And then a lot of the stuff they're talking about right now in real estate is commercial real estate. I think that was what they were kind of talking about here too, is that office spaces and stuff like that going to be in trouble here, which long term could solve some of our issues if we start converting some of these office spaces into apartments and apartment complexes. That could free up some different things, or some condo buildings. That's way down the road. We're a couple of years away from that, but that's definitely a big thing if you're looking in the real estate market right now. I'm probably seeing a lot of stuff about the commercial real estate market and where that's headed right now. So a lot of people are still working from home, not returning to offices, and we're going to start seeing a lot of these offices, office buildings, and commercial real estate in general is traded on what we call ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages, that typically come due, every 5 to 7 years, sometimes shorter 3, sometimes longer 10, 15, but 5 to 7 is pretty common. So we're going to start seeing a lot of these things come due, and it's really going to be up to them if they're going to refi, keep it going, back out, try to sell. We'll see. But that could be a spot where we start to see more apartments, more condos being built, as we try to repurpose some of this commercial building. But again, that's not a quick solution. That's not a short-term solution. That's going to be way down the road. It's going to take many years for that stuff to kind of happen. But again, on a whole here in the Twin Cities market, what we're seeing overall, not a lot of inventory hitting the market. We're seeing prices creep back up. Like I said, I predict we're going to keep seeing that through June and July. We'll see when it peaks out. Historically, typically when it happens is June and July. This year might be a little different depending on rates. But overall, we need something to kind of shake loose to try to get some more inventory in the market. And until that kind of happens, it's going to be pretty competitive. So if you are thinking of buying in this area, just make sure you have a solid game plan. You're partnering with a realtor that can get it done for you, that can get your offer accepted. And there's a lot more to just opening the door for you. There's a lot of negotiation that goes into these things. So making sure that they're getting offers accepted for you. Like I said, try not to be too picky. If you're a first-time home buyer, get what you're looking for. Hey, if you are trading up, there's not a lot of inventory, you probably be a little bit more picky, and that's, again, one of the reasons why we're seeing not a lot of homes on the market. A lot of people that will be trading up maybe are shopping, but they're not finding a lot, so they're not rushing into anything. And until we see something shake up there, it's kind of what we're going to see for a little while, I'm guessing.